The first time I heard the story, nobody believed it. A sailor named Bjarni Herjolfsson claimed he had seen land west of Greenland after a storm blew his ship off course. Not ice, not barren rock, forests, massive forests. But Bjarni never landed there. He turned back and returned home with nothing except stories. Most men laughed at him, but one man didn't. Leif Erikson, son of Eric the Red, the man who founded Greenland itself. Leif believed Bjarni had discovered something beyond the edge of the known world, and when word spread that Leif was buying Bjarni's ship to sail west, I volunteered immediately. I was young, stupid, hungry for glory. I thought we were sailing toward riches. I had no idea we were sailing into history. Preparing a Viking ship for open ocean was like preparing for war. Barrels of dried fish, water casks, sheep hides, axes, spears, rope, tar. Every inch of the longship mattered. If the sea swallowed us, there would be no rescue. The night before departure, nobody slept. Some men sharpened axes in silence. Others prayed to Odin. One sailor carved runes into the ship for protection. Another got so drunk he cried beside the fire. Deep down, we were terrified. The Western Ocean had no maps, no kingdoms, no certainty, only endless black water and rumors of sea monsters large enough to drag entire ships beneath the waves. The first week at sea broke us completely. Waves crashed across the deck day and night. Men vomited constantly. Sleep became impossible. The cold seeped into our bones until even breathing hurt. Then the storm came. I still remember the sound. Not thunder, screaming wood. The ocean rose like mountains around us. Our sails snapped violently in the wind while freezing water flooded the deck. One sailor lost his footing near midnight. I saw his hand reach upward before the sea swallowed him whole. Nobody could save him. Nobody even tried. Because if you jumped into those waters, you died with him. After that night, nobody spoke anymore. We just rode west through endless fog. Every morning we expected to die. Strange things started happening after the storm. At night, we heard sounds beneath the hull, deep scratching, slow movements under the water. One sailor swore he saw glowing eyes below the waves. Another claimed a serpent followed us through the fog. Fear spread faster than disease. Men stopped sleeping alone. Some whispered that the gods wanted us to turn back. Others believed we had already sailed into the realm of the dead. But Leif never lost control. Every morning he stood at the front of the ship staring west, like he already knew land waited for us there. Then one morning, the fog vanished, and we saw it. Land. Massive cliffs rising from the sea. Men shouted and fell to their knees crying. After weeks trapped between death and ocean, we had survived. We landed first on a rocky frozen coast, Leif named Helluland, flat stone land, but there was little food there. So we sailed south again. Days later, we reached another shoreline filled with endless forests, trees taller than anything in Greenland. Leif named it Markland, forest land. For the first time, hope returned. Then we found the place that changed everything, Vinland, a land so rich it barely seemed real. Rivers overflowing with fish, meadows untouched by snow, wild grapes growing across the hillsides. We built houses there before winter arrived. Real houses, not tents, not temporary camps. We believed we had discovered paradise. Hunting was easy. Wood was everywhere. Nobody starved. For the first time in my life, I understood why men crossed oceans chasing impossible dreams. At night, we sat beside the fire, imagining the future. New Viking kingdoms, farms, families, a new world beyond Greenland. But paradise never stays peaceful for long. We noticed the signs slowly, broken branches near camp, footprints in the mud, strange distant sounds in the trees. we were not alone. One evening while hunting, I saw them, figures standing silently between the trees watching us, indigenous hunters. Neither side moved. Neither side understood the other. We only stared in silence before they disappeared back into the forest. Some Vikings wanted peace, others wanted war immediately. Leif warned us not to provoke them, but fear makes men dangerous. The attack came before dawn. Screams ripped through the settlement, arrows flew from the darkness, men collapsed before they could even grab shields. Panic exploded instantly. I remember smoke, fire, blood on frozen ground. Nobody knew how many attackers surrounded us. We fought blindly through the chaos, while Leif shouted orders over the screaming wind. By sunrise, several men were dead, and for the first time since reaching Vinland, fear returned. Winter was approaching again. Supplies were running low, and every night we feared another attack from the forest. Finally, Leif made the decision. We would leave Vinland. Nobody argued. Deep down, we all knew the truth. We were explorers, not conquerors. We loaded the ships in silence while cold fog rolled across the shoreline. As we sailed away, I looked back at the forests disappearing into mist. We had crossed an ocean no Europeans believed could be crossed, and now we were abandoning it forever. Years later, people doubted our story. They said no Viking could cross the Western Ocean. They called Vinland a myth, but I remember every detail. The endless storms, the forests larger than kingdoms, the people waiting beyond the sea. We reached North America centuries before Columbus. And for a brief moment, Vikings stood at the edge of an entirely new world. Most men chase glory their entire lives and never find it. But we found something far greater, proof that the world was bigger than anyone ever imagined.